Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Bar-El, and today we're going to be doing the follow-up. I know a lot of you guys have commented to me, and you guys wanted to know the follow-up for this one right here, the XYZ printing 3D scanner. So we're going to go right into that right now. I do apologize for it taking a while. It's just, there was a lot of technical difficulties, and we're going to get into that, and I mean a lot. And due to that technical difficulties and, troubleshooting on my end here, because we'll go into everything in terms of customer service and all of that. I'm going to let you guys know exactly what I think of it and if it's worth it or not. So let's get right into it. Okay guys, so I'm sorry for holding the camera up like this. I just got to show you. Just be sure to download this, the newest, latest drivers, because the first thing I had an issue with, and it really was actually a big issue, was the fact that the old drivers kept crashing on me. Every time I would do a scan, it would sort of like freeze and then kick me out. Now here's the weird part. So even with the new, with the new software, I've been having the same kind of issues on my, mega computer here, mega Uber computer, which is weird. But on the laptop, which is less powerful, I managed to get no issues at all. Also, I'm going to recommend downloading this one right here. Apparently, it says it'll let you know if you're... you see right there, the program will check to see if your computer is compatible with XYZ printing 3D scanner. And just to let you know, you see, so I'm doing this on a different tower that I have hooked up to my monitor, and you could see this is the stuff that I'm getting, all these kind of problems here. Even though the supplied SD card everything is in there, nothing is wrong. It just doesn't seem, I don't know, to work with a lot. These are Windows 10 computer. This is the latest software. These are computers that I built myself, and I know they work on everything. They run games on ultra freaking 4K with no issue, on all top settings. It's not like it suffers from anything. It has CUDA cores. I use DaVinci Resolve, so there's no, very smoothly. I use every kind of program you could think of, and everything operates nice and easy, so I don't get what's wrong here. I want to show you guys. You see what it says here? Your computer does not meet the minimum system requirements, which is insane. It doesn't make any sense. And I have Windows 10, and they're talking about Windows 8. And they said Windows 8 and up. My computer is a powerhouse. There's no doubt in my mind. Everything I throw on it, it should work. And for some reason, it doesn't. So I looked all over and tried to search for better drivers or better whatever. I just could not find anything that was there. So now I'm going into the detection here. So we're going to go into that. Give me 1 second. So I'm going into the detection. The program will check to see if yada, 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 whatever, right? So we got this. Start checking, right? So we're going to look here. Everything has checks, which means it's supposed to work, right? Okay, and my computer, I know, has no issues. So again, I have no idea what's going on. You guys could see what I'm using, a 12-core processor. I'm using a 2080 on this tower, RTX, GeForce, 2080. Should be absolutely no issue whatsoever. And look at that, compatibility, excellent. And then you go into installing it, and this is what you get. Unfreaking believable. Okay guys, file this under C for curveball. So this thing, I based on my troubleshooting, because the people there had no idea what the hell they're talking about, this thing does not work with AMD scanners. With AMD computers. No matter how beefed up they are, it just doesn't work. So this is my laptop. I'm using let me just show you here so you guys see what I'm talking about. And, my laptop is the Triton 500. I did a whole review for you guys about this, and you could see right here all the specs, all that goodness. So it is a beast, and it is good, but, again, it's kind of weird, because the second I hooked it up, it automatically recognized everything. I just had to download the software, and that's about it. But you know, it doesn't work on AMD chips at all, and that's what took me a little bit of time, because I thought, okay, maybe it's a user error. I called them up. They had no idea what was going on. I tried it on multiple AMD machines that I built, on friends' machines that they bought, you know, from Dell or from anywhere. So just in case if I made a mistake, which I doubt I ever will, because, I mean, building a computer is building a computer. But, you know, just I wanted to give you guys the whole, you know, I wanted to give this a chance before telling you that this is a flop. But if you have an AMD computer, do not get this, because odds are it's not going to work. Okay, and this, it recognized everything automatically. I just basically had to download just the software, no drivers. It already recognized all that immediately. And of course the software, I think, installs drivers anyway afterwards. But even before I installed the software, this baby, you know, this is what happened. So basically this is how it works. I'm just gonna show it to you here. God, I hate doing it on the laptop because I'm not set up for this. So you could do it on object, body, the full body, and then mask, or then head. So I am gonna tell you this. So I used head, and I actually scanned a Kylo Ren helmet. As funny as that sounds, from what was it? I think it's by Hasbro. I'm not sure. It's the Black Series edition. Sorry about that. It's the Black Series edition. I think it is Hasbro. One that I fully modded. So I did it, and then I went into Zbrush and made the cracks and everything there to give it that look. But pretty much I did the scans on this, and it came out really nice. And you have to do a crap ton of cleaning up and all of that. But basically this is what it is. So, you know, you just hold it on here. Sorry, oops. You see, and you just basically scan it when you're ready. And you just do your thing. Whatever, I'm not going to go too far into this because I can't hold this camera and do it at the same time. But you guys could look up their tutorials. It tells you pretty much everything straightforward. And that's about it. So guys, as you can see, the scanner does yield somewhat good results. But not really good for high resolution, as you guys can see. It's more like low resolution. It also doesn't do, I don't know if you guys could see this, but it doesn't handle, I think it's like a bump of sink here. And this is actually not from printing, believe it or not, which is weird. Usually when you print upside down, you get these kind of, you know, nasty things like that or whatever. But in terms of detail, this is actually how it was. And I try to clean it up as much as I can. But of course, I am going to tell you this. There's a lot of post work to go into 3D work. So when you do things in 3D, I recommend always do a lot of post work in it. This is just right out of the box. You know, basically just right out there, scanning, trying to remove things. And I did, of course, after I scanned the regular one, I just made all of these designs using Zbrush. So there are some issues involved in that. Also, I am gonna say this. Look, you can tell it looks like a freaking horror movie up here, but from the side it looks pretty darn good if you look at it here and here. So, you know, you have to put in a lot of post work into this, and I mean a lot. I don't see any real benefit to this camera that you need to spend so much money on it. Because there's like so many like Photometry and other ones. I remember I used one from that came with the Samsung Note 10. Unfortunately, the 20 doesn't have that anymore, which really sucks. But that one was really good for camera, for, you know, for stuff to be scanned. But I don't know. This one, and I had to print it in two pieces. And the reason, I know you guys are going to say, why'd you color it? But the reason why I painted it is because I wanted you guys to see the imperfections. That being said, it's totally wearable. Again, you got to get the measurements correct, because the measurements are ridiculously tiny. So, like microscopic tiny. So, this actually fits me way better than the Black Series that I had to mod. So, this is without anything in it, too, and it's really, really nice. I mean, I have to put some foam in it, but it stays locked in your face, which is pretty freaking awesome for just the helmet itself. So it's pretty awesome, and it's really roomy. You see what I mean? Really roomy, so it's really cool. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this one. So, as you saw, it does produce results. There's no doubt about that. But as you saw before, based on my own troubleshooting, because I called them up, and I'm going to tell you everything what happened here. I called them up on their customer service line. They had no idea what they were talking about, and I actually figured it out. It doesn't work on AMD processors, no matter how beefed up your computer is, no matter anything. Now, I am printing the Kylo Ren helmet again, based on the 3D scan, as you guys saw in the other one, but this time I'm trying to do it in one piece. I try to rescan it to make it look better. Guys, this thing does do a good job at scanning. I think it is more user error than anything because it doesn't have a learning curve whatsoever. I think it's more for, I'm going to say, for smaller parts than giant helmets that fit your head, or, you know, a human body scans and so on and so forth. Again, I might be wrong. It might take a long time. I just didn't want to take too long. You guys were constantly, you know, emailing me and letting me know that you wanted to know if this thing was worth it or not. So I wanted to give you guys a follow-up review, and I'm going to follow this up again once I perfect this a little more. But it took me a while. I mean, since the beginning video till now, you could imagine. And then I gave myself the week to just be really invested in trying to get this thing up and running normally. And I'm gonna say this, when you do the scan, you know, there's gonna be a lot of stuff you're gonna need to clean up. Not just like where I put lines on Kylo Ren's helmet using Zbrush. You're gonna need Zbrush. You're gonna need Meshmixer. You're gonna need a lot of things to go into it. Maybe I'll do an episode probably later on sometime, how to put everything together from start to finish. But again, I had a lot of errors in it. Even the roundness of it I had issues with. As you guys saw, there was even one, you know, even though I was fixing it in the programs, because it was even worse than that, there still was one that was kind of like dipped in, which now I kind of fixed using Maya. So I mean, we're talking about thousands of dollars of software that you're going to need to get for this thing to be corrected and good. Again, this could be a user error. Maybe I should, you know, to be honest, I've done every single way possible to try to scan it in every little way possible. And you know, I was going slow. I was going, you know, a little bit, you know, spending my time doing the, you know, everything there and all of this stuff. And I'm going to tell you guys something here. I want to show you. When I was in China, I bought this baby right here, okay? This is, I don't even know what it's called. You can see it's really old, but it's not called anything. I don't know. It doesn't have a name. And to be honest, it does the same thing this thing does for $70 United States, okay, conversion rate. And it does literally exactly the same thing that this thing does. Exactly the same. Except if not even better, and I'll tell you why I think it's better. Because it works on AMD and for Intel processors. This thing, the XYZ printing, I did my own my own troubleshooting to figure out that it did not work on any of my AMD processors, but worked on my laptop that had a Intel processor, or on my friend's computer that had an Intel processor. So, you know, this thing is a little bit, I don't know, very picky on what it chooses. And you could see it, you know, even their stupid program said that I was, you know, that everything was up to par and everything, obviously, because I have a beefed up computer. I just couldn't believe that it wasn't running on that. So now you're going to ask me if it's worth it or not, right? So here's the deal. If you're doing scans for helmets, bigger items, you just have to invest a lot of time in post-production. Okay, now if you're looking for little action figures or something like that, amiibo size figures or whatnot, you're gonna be fine. As long as you take your time, you'll be fine. You'll get really accurate scans. For the money, you really can't beat it. I mean, it's like 200 some odd dollars. You can't beat it for the price. But here's the deal. Now you got to factor in other things to see if it's worth it. If you have an AMD machine, well, guess what? If you know how to build computers, you're going to need a new motherboard and a new CPU. Okay, that's going to average about $700 to $800 because you don't want to get a garbage PC. You want to get something that runs that can replace your AMD, right? So that's a good computer. So you're going to be spending about $700 to $800. Now, if you guys are going to look into, and you know, and also I'm adding to it the cooler and all of that. I use liquid cooling. Even if you use stock cooling, you're going to pay about $60 to $100 for that. So you're doing about close to $1,000 for an upgrade. Now, if you're buying a computer, you could get good computers that sort of runs or whatever, about $700 to $800 as well. So you got to add that to the price of this unit here. Is it worth it? No. If it's $1,000, hell no. If it's under $300, I would say you go ahead and do that. It's definitely worth the investment. But if you have to, you know, change everything from an AMD to an Intel processor, guys, I'm sorry, but that is just so stupid of them for not being able to look out for the whole. I mean, you're coming out with a product. You're pushing it as consumer friendly. You're showing people, wow, look at the stuff you can get, and really, it is worth it. If you have an Intel processor, I think it's worth it. But how on earth could you not do, you know, could you rush this thing out by not giving a damn about AMD processors, which a lot of the people all around the world are using right now, that and Intel? So you're kind of alienating an entire fan base right there that are gonna, you know, not be able to do this. It's just so stupid. And I tried everything. I got drivers for it. I got every little thing you could think of. It just does not work well on all AMD processors. I have a 12-core, top of the line, guys. I mean, the damn thing runs. It's anywhere. It's just under a freaking Threadripper, okay? Which I'm gonna be doing a Threadripper build also. And of course, my friend had a Threadripper, and it still didn't work on his. So it doesn't. The damn thing doesn't work on AMD processors. Maybe there's some AMD processors it does work, I don't know, but it is extremely lame for them to do something like that. So I don't think it's worth it if you have an AMD processor. If you have an Intel processor, definitely this thing is worth it. I mean, right now I'm printing again. I fixed it again so it doesn't have that bump as I showed you guys. So I'm fixing a bunch of stuff, and hopefully you know, the helmet will come out neat. But again, just to let you know, it did a good scan of it, but there were imperfections everywhere. Even the circle, you know, the circle, when you're doing these kind of shapes, especially like when you need it to be a perfect circle for like a helmet or whatever, or even if, you know, it's going to be really difficult to pull off. And I tried it with a mask as well, to do a mask for one of my friends, scorpion mask. Basically what I had to do, because it wasn't perfectly, you know, it didn't have the perfect measurement on one side or the other. Again, could be user error. What I did is I took the best part, cut it in half with Meshmixer, and then mirrored it and combined it together as one, and it came out beautiful, you know? So there's a lot of fixing to go into this, okay? You're not going to just spend under $300 and say it's going to work. It's not, because you're going to need to invest if you want to do any modifications, real modifications, in Zbrush. I know they have like a $29 a month program subscription or whatever, but you got to add that to the price of this. Now, if you're using this professionally and selling stuff, you know, on Etsy or whatever, you're going to probably think it's worth it, okay? You're going to put the extra money behind it. You'll get that Intel processor and do the upgrade yourself, or, you know, build another computer, because you're making money off it. But if you're doing this as a hobbyist, if you don't have an Intel processor, it really isn't worth it. You guys are going to be pulling the hair out of your head. Believe me, I'm telling you, this thing is not worth it. And like I said, the made in China, I'm sure you could find it somewhere on eBay or somewhere where I got it from China. So I don't know, you know, there's no link for it. But, you know, for about $70, $80 conversion rate to the USD, United States dollars, I'm going to say that's more worth it than this, even though it doesn't look as, you know, pleasing to the eye than this thing is. It really doesn't matter. It gets the job done better only because of what? The fact that you could use it with AMD or Intel, and you're doing it for $70 aside from this, where it's like $239. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I wish this thing came with a case or with something. It didn't. I had to go ahead and get me this Ore case for it. And put it in there for protection. The thing is, you could throw this in, you know, your backpack. It is nice the way it has that hanger, almost like it's meant, which it is. It's meant to be used with a laptop as you're going around in circles. I'm gonna say this. I still, you know, when you have a $70 product that does better than this, it's. I hope, let's just say, I hope that XYZ Printing comes out with a different version of this, does a recall on this, and makes a driver update. Believe me, there's none that works on the Threadripper, I could say, or on my AMD Ryzen the 12 core. It just doesn't work on it. But on my Intel, it's so weird. You just hook it up. You don't even have to install anything. It automatically recognizes everything. So it all comes up to you. Do you want to put the extra time? And you're going to put hours behind it doing post-production on this thing, okay? Do you want to invest time? Of course, if you're doing it professionally, you do it once, and you can make 100 copies of this thing, as I'm doing right now, different variations. But now I'm doing a whole set instead of just cutting it in half. You know, definitely look in my Instagram. I'm going to show you how that baby looks, because I'm working on some experiments with the Kylo Ren helmet. So, you know, for what it does, if you have an Intel processor like I do on my laptop, you guys will absolutely love it. I think you guys will if you're doing it professionally, will like what you're doing for a fraction of a price. But again, you need to have Zbrush, you need to have Meshmixer, you need to have all these softwares that you're going to need to put into it, and the money you're going to invest in that, we're talking about, well, I mean, Maya is like over $3,000. I'm not asking for Maya, but you could go with a Zbrush, which is $29 a month. You put that in a professional standpoint. If you're doing it as a hobbyist, you got to know that you're adding to that, you know, that kind of cost. I have an old version of Zbrush, and I really don't care. I use it all the time. I'm not a subscriber. So it feels great that I have something like that to use. Meshmixer is free, so you can do some work with that, and I have Simplify 3D to put it into my, you know, my 3D slicing program, so I could, you know, 3D print some stuff. So that to me, I think overall for me, this thing is worth it for the price point. Am I happy with what they did? Absolutely not. I think it's so stupid for a company to come up with something that's for PCs that their program says it's good for, and you know, and it doesn't work because it's not an Intel, when they're, you know, they're Intel's, you know, they're you know, kind of biased here. They're going only with Intel processors, which is ridiculous. They should go with everything across the line for PCs. Whatever. So anyways, that's all I got to say on that. Let me know what you guys think. I didn't want to rush one out there. That's why you could see how long it took me. I was looking for drivers, trying to give this the benefit of the doubt. It just does not work, and it only works with Intel processors, and this pissed me off more than anything, but it works on Intel processors. I did my own troubleshooting. Their customer service sucks. I'm letting you guys know that right off the bat. I think they're nice, but they're not informative. They're not giving you real information for anything. I do hope that maybe one day they can make it up to me, because I paid for this, as everything in this channel I paid for, that they can make it up for me and release a driver and let me know about it on the channel. They could write on the comments and say, hey guys, we updated the drivers. It works on AMD now as well. You shouldn't have issues with it. If they do that, I will tell you guys on that. I'll make a follow-up review on it and let them know. But I feel like I spent so much, you know, so much. I mean, it is a lot of money right now, especially considering. But it's cheap compared to all the other scanners out there. But if they actually hear my plea here, if they come up with a different version, perhaps that lasts on both, I would love for them to replace this garbage that I paid for and give me, and I call it garbage because there's, because I'm being unfair calling it that. It's just I'm so angry, you know, right now because of that. And I think everybody will be. If you're getting this thing, if you got this thing and you have an AMD processor and the damn thing doesn't work, and they don't put that in any of their, you know, anything, you're just hearing it from other customers. And, of course, they tell you you don't know what you're doing, you got to do this, you got to do that, a bunch of people on forums, and that's nonsense because it doesn't work on AMD processors at all. Maybe some that I don't know. I don't know. I build computers. I do this as a side gig. You know, it's what I do. Believe me, I'm telling you, the damn thing does not work on AMD. But it works on Intel processors without any issue. Anyways, I hope they could send me a replacement, and then I could do a follow-up review on that and let you guys know. As far as the whole thing, they have a tutorial on how to do everything from start to finish. I think it's a little bit nonsense because there's a lot more involved. Again, gave it a while. Maybe this thing does not have a learning curve, so maybe I need to spend more time with it. So I'm not going to judge it on the base of that. Right now, I'm just judging it on the base. I mean, I am getting good prints out of it after loads of work with my thousands of dollars programs behind it. But again, you could do it through Meshmixer. A Zbrush you're going to need, and you're paying $29 a month for it. So you guys could do that even on a hobby, and then I guess just do months by when you need it, when you're going to do most of your 3D printing files. I don't know. The point is, it is worth it for the price if you have an Intel processor. If you don't, it's definitely not worth it. I'd skip it or wait till they come out with a new version that actually gives a damn about everyone instead of just alienating a majority of their clients, believe me, because there's so many I know with AMD that told me the same exact story. It does not work, because I did forum research. I went on every little thing you could think of, and no matter what, they all had the same issue, and that's when I came to the conclusion myself. I try to fix it as I do in my troubleshooting videos, and I just couldn't do it. I'm rambling now because I'm so ticked off by this. So it's worth it if it's Intel. It's not worth it if it's AMD. And also put into factor with both of them that you're gonna need to invest in a good professional, software. That's all I got to tell you. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, hit that bell button. As always, independent reviews. We are the people's channel. This is from real people. This isn't a joke. You guys are the jury. You guys are all. This is our channel. You give back. I give back. We all help the community make better informed decisions so they don't end up having an AMD processor and buying junk that they don't need. Okay, this thing will probably be a nice little page holder, I guess, a giant page holder for many people, unfortunately. So let's hope that they do the right thing and release a driver that'll actually freaking work for everybody. And if not, that they can do a damn recall and just replace it all. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye. As always, guys, if you like what you see, self-funded here, be sure to check out all my other stuff, from mini-series to unboxings to technology, and Nintendo reviews and 3D printer reviews and all that good stuff. If you like what you see, the only way you can help the channel is by liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell button. As many more cool videos to come. Definitely want you guys in it, and I want you guys to be vocal. Definitely comment down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.